My parents divorced, each establishing their own families, declaring that they had no desire to take on the burden of raising my two sisters and me. It was my elder sister who, having dropped out of school, worked 3 jobs a day, sleeping merely 3 hours each night, all to support my younger sister and me in our pursuit of higher education. During her studies, my younger sister became enamored with social media, leveraging videos that pranked my elder sister and me to amass a fortune. Yet, she surrendered all her earnings to our parents, cultivating the persona of a dutiful daughter. When I confronted her, she scoffed, "I'm an internet celebrity now, what right do you two orphans have to be my sisters?" In her quest to fabricate a happy family and conceal her troubled past, she resorted to sinister measures, orchestrating a fatal accident for both my elder sister and me. If you enjoy my story, please remember to follow and like so you won't miss out on more captivating tales. Now, I shall prompt you that the main narrative is about to commence. Upon opening my eyes, I found myself back on the day of my parents' divorce, and my elder sister seized my hand, urging me run. This time, we won't take that ungrateful wretch with us. Dad, please take me with you. I promise I will obey, Mom. Don't abandon me. I promise I won't cause any more trouble. As I opened my eyes, I was met with a cacophony of wailing. My younger sister, Meng Siyuan, clutched our father's sleeve with one hand and our mother's skirt with the other, pleading for them to take her along. All she received in return was their indifferent gaze. Indeed, my parents had already formed their new families. Why would they wish to burden themselves with a dependent? Regrettably, Meng Siyuan failed to grasp this reality, throwing herself on the ground in a fit of desperation, seeking a new home. Had this been before, I would have already pulled Meng Siyuan up and brushed the dirt from her. Having traversed through myriad lifetimes, I closed my eyes, a profound hatred enveloping me. My parents, anxious to return to their new family, expressed a palpable disdain towards entanglements with Meng Siyuan, their tone dripping with insincerity. "Enough. We shall visit you often. You must live well with your elder and second sisters. We are leaving now. Please no." Meng Siyuan wailed, finally recalling that my elder sister and I stood beside her, fiercely clawing at our arms, leaving angry red marks. "Elder sister, second sister, you must persuade our parents. I am still so young, how can they abandon me?" She sobbed, and I shook off her grasp.
"Do not bother me."
Meng Siyuan's eyes brimmed with confusion. Without a moment's hesitation, she turned to plead with my elder sister. "Elder sister, you must think of a way to help me." Understanding my elder sister's gentle nature, Meng Siyuan feigned a pitiful demeanor. My eyelids fluttered. This is troubling. My elder sister has always been soft-hearted and imbued with a strong sense of responsibility. She would never forsake Meng Siyuan. Were the tragedies of our past lives destined to repeat themselves? Before I could voice my concerns, my elder sister suddenly collapsed to the ground. Meng Siyuan screamed, abruptly releasing her hold. In the ensuing chaos, my parents fled, and Meng Siyuan hastily pursued them outside. My elder sister opened her eyes, gripping my wrist tightly. "We must flee this time. We shall not take that ungrateful wretch with us." I stood frozen, contemplating whether my elder sister had also been reborn. Sensing my hesitation, she implored urgently, "Do you truly wish to bring along Meng Siyuan?" "Certainly not." I snapped back to reality. "Sister, have you also seen through Meng Siyu's true nature?" After exchanging our thoughts, my sister and I discovered that we had both been reborn. In our previous life, it was Meng Siyu who brought about our demise. Our parents each strayed, finding new partners and bearing additional children. My sister understood that even if we followed our parents into their new families, we would not fare well. Thus, she resolutely pulled Meng Siyu behind her, refusing to relent no matter how much Meng Siyu struggled. Our parents departed, satisfied. Each was to contribute 500 yuan monthly for our support. A meager 1,000 yuan had to cover the living expenses, tuition, and accommodation for the three of us sisters, a sum that was woefully insufficient even if my sister painstakingly stretched every penny. What compounded our despair was the fact that our parents owned cars and houses and had substantial incomes. Consequently, we were ineligible for student loans or financial aid for the impoverished. Left with no choice, my sister had to withdraw from university, working 2 jobs to support both Meng Siyu and me through school. At 20, she bore the weary appearance of a woman in her 40s, and the money she managed to save barely sufficed for the tuition of a private school. In an effort to alleviate my sister's burden, I resolutely transferred to a public high school. Yet Meng Xiu stubbornly clung to the private institution, refusing to budge. I was born to be a lady. Why should I endure hardship? It's all your fault. If you had let me go with our parents, I wouldn't be in this dire situation. Fury surged within me, and I was determined to teach Meng Xiu a lesson. However, my sister halted my actions, engulfed in profound guilt. It is entirely my fault, for I lack the capability to provide you with a better life. Second sister, do not blame the youngest, she is still quite young. Meng Xiao let out a cold snort. That is somewhat acceptable. She continued to lavishly spend money, recklessly purchasing high-end cosmetics and luxury goods, completely oblivious to the fact that our eldest sister was secretly working a third job. Later, when Meng Xiao and I both gained admission to university, our living expenses were worlds apart. I managed with a mere 600 a month, while she deemed 5,000 insufficient. Do cosmetics come for free? Is hiring a photographer without cost? I have embarked on a career in social media without substantial investment. How could I possibly succeed? Even more egregious was Meng Xiao's treatment of me and our eldest sister as mere subjects for her pranks. She replaced our toothpaste with mustard, stealthily added an excessive amount of sour plum extract to our water cups, and posted our embarrassing moments online for public ridicule. Meanwhile, she adorned herself beautifully, hiding behind the camera, laughing with unabashed delight. Meng Xiao's popularity soared, and she became a top influencer across various video platforms. My sister and I believed that our arduous efforts would finally pay off, only to discover that Meng Xiao relinquished all her earnings to our parents, effectively casting us aside. In a fit of anger, I confronted Meng Xiao. She dismissed my outrage with indifference. I have already established my persona as the sole pampered daughter online. You and our eldest sister are both poor and unattractive. So, do not associate with me. I have made an agreement with our parents that I will send them money each month, and they will assist me in filming videos. We shall live happily, as a family. In disbelief, I retorted, what then do you consider our sacrifices, my sister and I? Meng Xiao scoffed. You are merely nannies, that is how I present you to the outside world. Unable to endure her mockery any longer, I prepared to expose her vile nature to the public. However, Meng Xiao was one step ahead, orchestrating a fatal car accident that claimed both my life and that of my elder sister. In my final moments, I caught a glimpse of my sister resolutely shielding me with her body. Yet, I was not spared. I met a tragic end beneath the wheels of the vehicle. Feigning sorrow, Meng Xiao announced a hiatus. The nannies who accompanied me in filming have tragically passed away in a car accident. I am deeply saddened and will be on hiatus for a month, her followers consoled her. Yao Yao, do not be disheartened if the nannies have spirits in the afterlife. They surely would not wish to see your tears. You are too kind. In essence, your relationship with them was one of employment, and there is no need for sorrow. Is it just me, or did the nannies have a poor attitude? How dare they shout at you? Do they remember they are merely servants? Their demise is for the best. Indeed, we should look forward in life. Meng Xiao replied, After hearing everyone's comforting words, I feel much better. She then turned to take her parents on a holiday in Europe, sharing images of their enjoyment. MY's spirit lingered in the ether, filled with regret. Fortunately, fate granted us a chance to start anew. This time, my sister and I vowed to ensure Meng Xiao paid for her transgressions in blood. MY's sister forged a hospital diagnosis and presented it before our parents. Mom and Dad, my health is too fragile to care for both second sister and third sister. Perhaps you should take them with you. I played along with eldest sister, feigning pity. No, eldest sister, how can you survive alone? Mom and Dad, I implore you, do not abandon us sisters. Before I could finish, Meng Xiu grew anxious. You are all so selfish, wanting to accompany our parents without considering the burden it places upon them. I was astounded by the depths of her shamelessness. Since she had no qualms, I decided to shed my pretense and threw myself on the ground, wailing. Why should you be allowed to go with Mom and Dad while eldest sister and I are destined to be abandoned? I refuse to accept this. If we are to perish, let's perish together as a family. Meng Xiu took the bait, easily losing her composure. Get lost. What do you think you are? How dare you compare yourself to me? Neighbors peered out to witness the commotion, pointing and whispering about us. Our parents looked disheartened, each taking a step back. Enough, Siyuan will come with us. As for you and your sister, We will provide each of you with a monthly allowance of 1,000 yuan until you graduate from university. Is that sufficient? Eldest sister and I felt immense joy within, though we maintained a facade of despondence, fearing we might reconsider. Meng Siyuan hastily agreed on our behalf. Do not overstep your bounds. Mom and Dad have been more than generous. If you keep dragging this out, you will receive nothing. Eldest sister and I reluctantly accepted this arrangement. Meng Xiao cheered with joy as she reached out to grasp her father's hand. However, her father brushed her off with a cold demeanor, stating, "This month, you shall stay with your mother. I will come to fetch you next month." Her mother, unwilling to yield, retorted, "Why must she stay with me this month? Without my consent, no one is permitted to enter my home. Meng Xiao, hurry and get in your father's car. I am simply too busy this month." Meng Xiao stood bewildered, unsure of how to proceed. Meanwhile, my elder sister and I exchanged a glance and discreetly slipped away. This family had become entirely unrelated to us, and we had little inclination to involve ourselves in this troublesome affair. After receiving the child support, the first thing my sister did was rent a small one-bedroom apartment. Though modest in size, it was affordable, well-lit, and conveniently located near both of our schools. My sister remarked, "I never imagined we would manage to escape from that vampire in our lifetime. Little sister, rest assured, I shall take good care of you and cultivate you into a pillar of strength." I shook my head and placed my hand over my sister's. "Sister, I do not require your sacrifices. I simply wish for you to focus on your studies and lead your own life. I have already submitted my application for a transfer. Next month I will move to a public school. With some additional effort to secure a scholarship and a part-time job, your burden can be lightened." My sister wept, embracing me tightly. "Little sister, I would rather you not be so understanding." I patted my sister's shoulder and smiled. "Do not cry. Our lives will surely improve from here on." Without Meng Siyuan clinging to me and my sister, the burden has indeed lightened considerably. I and her previous life. She resented the poor conditions of our rented apartment and insisted on residing in a spacious 1,200 square meter flat. She indulged in extravagant feasts, donned designer clothing, and accumulated an innumerable array of luxury items. When I urged Meng Siyuan to live within her means, she retorted, "Classmates carry bags worth 6 figures. I merely desire a bag priced in the 5 figures." Is this request truly excessive? I felt an impulse to strike her. Fortunately, this time Meng Siyuan was no longer under our care. The allowance provided by our parents was sufficient for our daily expenses. Moreover, we engaged in part-time jobs and work-study opportunities during our free time, gradually amassing a modest savings. It seemed that Meng Siyuan had distanced herself from our lives. Until she reappeared before me on Monday, as I opened my workbook to tackle some exercises. The homeroom teacher entered the classroom with Meng Siyuan in tow. "We have a new student transferring to our class. Let us give a warm welcome. Meng, would you like to introduce yourself?" Applause erupted in the classroom, with classmates fervently clapping. Meng Siyuan cast a disdainful glance at the modest classroom and her peers, retorting sharply, "Cease the applause, it's deafening. My name is Meng Siyuan, a transfer student from an elite school. I shall return there one day, so do not attempt to forge friendships with me. We are not of the same class." The clapping abruptly ceased, plunging the room into silence. Everyone was taken aback by Meng Siyuan's arrogance. I, however, could not suppress a smirk. It would be quite a surprise if she ever returned. My parents are certainly not as selflessly devoted as my elder sister. They are so miserly with living expenses that it is unimaginable for them to spend hundreds of thousands to enroll Meng Siyu in an elite school. She fails to comprehend that a fallen phoenix is inferior to a mere chicken, and inevitably, she shall face dire consequences. Meanwhile, Meng Siyu has noticed me. With a disdainful huff, she pretends not to recognize me. I have no inclination to approach her with warmth when she is so cold, so I continue to focus on my studies. Finally, when class concludes, my desk mate whispers to me, "The new student has such a terrible temperament. Who would indulge her?" I wholeheartedly agree. Indeed, those who cater to her are nothing but fools. It was our failure, my sister and I, to recognize her true nature early on, which led to us being thoroughly exploited, leaving not even a trace behind. Meng Siyu, seated at the back, gracefully admires her nails, but upon hearing my words, she suddenly erupts, "Meng Jingdan, why should I care about your unsolicited opinions?" My desk mate is startled. "Do you know each other?" After all, Meng Siyu and I share the same surname, and as twins, we bear a striking resemblance. Anyone with eyes could discern the connection. Meng Xiu continues her tirade. What gives you the right to speak ill of me? You dress like a beggar, is it because no one showers you with affection? I shake my head, my tone calm. Indeed, I am an orphan. Stunned, Meng Xiu finds herself in a predicament. Should she expose me, the entire class would learn that I am her sister, a revelation that would strike a heavy blow to her vanity. Students gather around us. Meng Jingdan, so you are an orphan. No wonder your life is so frugal. Do not be sorrowful, your parents will surely watch over you from above. Even more audaciously, some turn their ire towards Meng Xiu. Can you not exhibit a modicum of empathy? Do you truly believe yourself to be a pampered heiress? You are just like us, attending a public school. Damn it, I detest pretentious people. The classmates exchanged barbs, and Meng Xiu's face flushed a deep crimson, more vivid than a monkey's rear. A bunch of paupers, I cannot be bothered to engage with you. Just wait one day. You shall be on your knees, begging for my forgiveness. After delivering her harsh words, Meng Xiu shot me a fierce glare. I merely curled my lips into a smile. Let us watch and see. Following this tumultuous incident, Meng Xiu found herself increasingly ostracized. She sat all alone in the last row, creating an invisible yet formidable barrier between herself and the others. Occasionally, a class representative would attempt to engage her. Requesting her homework, she would respond with an even loftier demeanor. Chinese education is truly antiquated, stifling the creativity of students. We, the students of aristocratic schools, receive a formal international education, destined for study abroad. The class representative had no patience for her ramblings and retorted impatiently. Have you not completed your homework? Meng Xiu's facade began to crack, and she indignantly replied, So, what if I haven't? Oh, then prepare for the consequences. The class representative noted Meng Xiu's name and departed with a stack of homework in hand, exuding nonchalance to similar incident. Transpired during physical education class. The instructor requested that all students warm up by running laps, yet Meng Xiao expressed her disdain vehemently. Running leaves one with a foul odor of sweat. I refuse to engage in such activities suited for the lower class. I typically only play golf, and if the school lacks a course, I would rather perish than partake in any form of exercise. This outburst led to an uproar among the other teachers. Consequently, the homeroom teacher was compelled to convene a small meeting with her parents at the school. On the day of their arrival, their expressions were particularly grim. Meng Xiao timidly trailed behind them, softly calling out, Do you not call me that I have no daughter like you? Her father bellowed, delivering a sharp slap to her face. Her mother appeared equally exasperated. What good is raising you? Day after day, it's either demands for money or trouble. Perhaps you should quit school and start working in a factory. A red mark from the slap appeared on Meng Xiao's beautiful face, and she covered her face, weeping in pain. The homeroom teacher promptly intervened. Parents, please remain calm. Meng's nature is fundamentally good. There may be some misunderstandings that require cooperation between the school and the family. My mother furrowed her brows tightly. I have no time for this. If there are matters to discuss, address them directly with her father. With that, she prepared to leave, her bag in hand. My father erupted in anger. You worthless woman. Always shirking responsibility. Don't forget that Meng Xiao has been living with you this month. The one who ought to be accountable is you. The homeroom teacher bore a look of astonishment. You? We are divorced henceforth. Do not contact us unless it is of utmost importance. My parents left with an air of nonchalance, not sparing a single glance for Meng Xiao. The news spread like wildfire, quickly permeating every corner of the school. Now everyone was aware that Meng Xiao was far from the pampered princess she had portrayed herself to be. In stark contrast, she was merely a neglected child, unloved by both father and mother. Stripped of her pretenses, Meng Xiao stubbornly declared, Though I lack love, I possess a vast fortune awaiting my inheritance. The culmination of your lifelong efforts pales in comparison to my starting point. It was laughable. Had I not been aware of my parents' true nature, I might have been swayed by her fabrications. After remarrying, my parents each welcomed a son and proudly proclaimed that their family line was finally secure. With these two sons to carry on the legacy, Meng Xiao's aspirations of inheriting wealth seemed nothing short of a delusion. I know my parents better than anyone. Indeed, Meng Xiao not only failed to inherit a single penny but also found her living expenses have. My parents justified their actions with unwavering conviction. Isn't this the lifestyle you yearn for abroad? Then earn your own living expenses and tuition. Meng Xiao resorted to tears and tantrums, even attempting to protest through hunger strikes. Unfortunately for her, such tactics were effective only on those who cared for her. My parents were eager to rid themselves of this burden and had no intention of indulging her. Declining to eat. Fine. Not a morsel would be spared. Refusing to attend school? They promptly initiated her withdrawal, pushing her towards factory work. Meng Xiao was terrified. The manipulative tactics that had repeatedly worked on me and my elder sister fell flat before her parents. Ultimately, she had no choice but to bow down and compromise, managing to scrape by on a meager monthly allowance of 500 yuan. However, it is easy to descend from frugality to extravagance, yet arduous to revert from opulence to modesty. Meng Xiyuan had become accustomed to a lavish lifestyle, and even when her parents halved her living expenses, she continued to spend money with reckless abandon. Ultimately, she found herself reduced to a diet of instant noodles, gazing longingly at the chicken drumsticks I added to my plate, her eyes filled with envy and resentment. One day, Meng Xiyuan finally erupted. "How dare you, in your pitiful state, indulge in chicken legs?" I smirked lightly. "What's wrong? Surely, the young lady can't be so destitute as to afford not even a chicken leg? Here, I bestow upon you this chicken butt." Meng Xiyuan trembled with fury, wishing she could slay me with her glare 1,000 times over. I savored the chicken bones, wearing a provocative grin. "You wretched pauper, I dare say you shall never amount to anything in this life," Meng Xiyuan retorted in a fit of rage. "When I rise again, I shall ensure your demise in the most gruesome manner." "Oh." I lowered my head, continuing my meal. Meng Xiyuan wiped her mouth with determination and strode away with her head held high. A few days later, she reappeared at the cafeteria window, carrying an expensive takeout. "I shall take this dish, and that dish I will purchase them all. Do not sell them to anyone else." The cafeteria staff complied with her demands, filling her arms with a multitude of plastic containers brimming with food. Without a glance, Meng Xiyuan unceremoniously discarded them into the trash bin. This act incited a collective uproar among the students, who began to voice their discontent. "Meng Xiyuan, are you out of your mind? If you buy all the food, what are we supposed to eat? You may have bought it, but what is the meaning of your wastefulness?" Meng Xiyuan waved her handful of cash, unabashedly declaring, "With money clutched in my hand, I can purchase whatever my heart desires. Who told you all to be destitute? You deserve to go hungry and cold." This remark stirred up a tempest among my classmates, each one brimming with indignation and eager to confront Meng Xiyuan. Realizing the precariousness of her situation, Meng Xiyuan hastily retreated, yet not without hurling a harsh threat. "If you dare to bully me, I shall spend my fortune to have you dealt with. After all, I have money to spare." I furrowed my brow. Meng Xiyuan had yet to embark on her journey to become an internet celebrity. From where could she possibly have acquired such wealth? Before long, I found the answer. At the stroke of midnight, raucous noises emanated from the adjacent room, waking all of us in the dormitory. "Help! Someone catch a thief!" My roommate and I exchanged glances and hurried out of the dorm. To our astonishment, there was no thief in sight. Meng Xiyuan was being held by her roommate by the hair, desperately struggling. "Let me go. Otherwise, I will call the police," her roommate retorted furiously. "You stole my money and now you want to turn the tables? Go ahead and call the police. It's the perfect way to resolve this." At that moment, the source of Meng Xiyuan's lavish spending dawned on me. Her face turned a ghastly shade, and she protested, "You're talking nonsense. Which of your eyes saw me steal money?" In a fit of rage, her roommate slapped her. "Still trying to deny it? I wrote my name on the bills. Do you dare to bring them out for inspection?" Upon hearing this, Meng Xiyuan resembled a frightened rabbit, thrashing about in desperation. In the midst of the commotion, she caught sight of me and screamed, "Meng Jingdan, you must save me." I took a step back, my expression indifferent. "Whom are you calling? Are we even acquainted?" Meng Xiao was infuriated, her composure shattered. "You are my second sister. If you want help me, who will? Please come to my aid. I am being tormented." The others involuntarily loosened their grip. "Meng Jingdan, are you truly Meng Xia's sister?" I waved my hand dismissively. "No." Meng Xia was taken aback by my resoluteness, her face a mask of panic. "You are lying. We are indeed sisters." I let out a cold, mocking laugh. Only when disaster struck did she remember our sisterhood during prosperous times. She referred to my elder sister and me as mere caretakers. I could not be bothered to engage with her further and turned to return to my dormitory to resume my slumber. Feel free to call the police. Seeing my lack of intention to advocate for Meng Xiu, the girl who had been robbed sighed in relief and dialed the authorities. The police arrived swiftly, inquiring into the matter at hand. It turned out that this girl had brought her living and tuition fees to the dormitory, intending to hand them to the homeroom teacher the following day. At that moment, Meng Xiu could not even muster 100 yuan upon glimpsing the substantial stack of cash. She was seized by an unsavory temptation. Under the cover of night, while her roommate slept, she stealthily absconded with the money and concealed it in her backpack. The next day, when the homeroom teacher failed to mention the fee collection, the girl remained oblivious to the theft. Meng Xiu squandered the ill-gotten gains without restraint, ordering takeout, purchasing clothes, and wasting food in the cafeteria for show. It was not until 2 days ago that the homeroom teacher suddenly requested the submission of tuition fees, prompting the girl to finally discover her cash had been stolen and, based on Meng Xiu's suspicious behavior, accurately identify the thief. Due to the lack of evidence, the young woman chose to remain silent and instead requested a sum of money from her family, which she placed conspicuously on the table. Once a lesson is learned, familiarity follows. Meng Xiu, once again adeptly pocketing the money, remained oblivious to the trap that had been set for her and was promptly apprehended. The other 7 individuals in the dormitory witnessed the entire ordeal and stepped forward as witnesses, with both testimonial and physical evidence present. And the total sum involved reaching 5,000 to 6,000. It met the threshold for criminal charges of theft. Meng Xiu was utterly ensnared. Woo-woo, officer, it wasn't intentional. I was just so hungry. My parents neglect me, and my 2 sisters often bully me. In a moment of confusion, I made a mistake. Please forgive me this time. She whimpered, shedding a few tears while attempting to charm the police. The other girls in the dormitory could no longer bear to watch. Meng Xiu, have some dignity. You are the one who claims to be the pampered princess and the only child too. Now, you've transformed into a Cinderella. Meng Xiu was left speechless. The police informed the homeroom teacher, who then called her parents to come to the station. However, upon hearing of Meng Xiu's theft, they abruptly hung up. The homeroom teacher persistently called again, only to receive the response, "Let her go to jail. I'll consider her as never having been my daughter." With swollen eyes from crying, Meng Xiu placed her last hope in her elder sister. Summoned by the homeroom teacher, her sister patiently listened to the sequence of events. Meng Xiu clutched her sister's hand tightly, as if grasping a lifeline. "Sister, you are all I have left. Please hurry and lend me money, or I'll end up in prison." The elder sister slowly and resolutely pried open her hand and addressed the class teacher, saying, "Teacher, you mentioned that my sister made a mistake and was caught, which is why I hurried here." The teacher, feeling awkward, explained, "Classmate Meng Xiu claims you are her sister, hence my involvement." The elder sister understood the situation and firmly replied, "I have only one sister, Jingdan. You must be mistaken." "Elder sister," Meng Xiu exclaimed, her face a mask of shock. "I am Xiu, your dearest sister." The elder sister shook her head, stating, "We are no longer connected." Meng Xiu then discarded her pretense. Her expression twisted with rage as she shouted, "I knew you were heartless and ungrateful. Leave. I would rather perish than accept a single cent from you. Such audacity." The elder sister nodded slightly to the teacher and turned to leave, dragging me along. Meng Xiu stood frozen in disbelief. "No, I was joking. Come back." Her cries echoed behind us, but neither the elder sister nor I looked back. Ultimately, it was our parents who intervened to rescue Meng Xiu, not out of love, but because the scandal was far too embarrassing. They shelled out 6,000 yuan in compensation and inflicted upon Meng Xiu a severe reprimand. They even arranged for her to withdraw from school, urging her to seek employment promptly in an effort to mitigate the losses. On the day of her withdrawal, Meng Xiu trudged away with a heavy, tattered bag and a rolled-up bedding, appearing disheveled and downtrodden. As my classmates and I headed to the cafeteria, we happened to cross paths with Meng Xiu. Upon seeing me, she regarded me as if I were the murderer of her father, and through gritted teeth, she spat out, "Meng Jingdan, you wait. I shall make sure to turn you and your wretched sister into ashes." I curled the corners of my lips into a smirk and replied, "Is that so?" With that, I delivered a sharp slap to her face. Let us see who truly prevails. Meng Xiao let out a piercing scream and lunged at me, intent on scratching me. However, the classmates, having grown weary of her antics, pushed her out of the school gates. She lingered outside, seething with rage, before ultimately departing in frustration. It was not until after the college entrance examination that I heard news of her again. I learned that Meng Xiao had taken a job at a factory, but not long after, she became embroiled in various scandals with the foreman of her production line. Though my parents were indifferent to Meng Xiao's fate, they prided themselves on their social standing and would not tolerate anyone tarnishing their reputation. In a fit of indignation, they brought Meng Xiao back home to serve as a maid, tasked with preparing our meals and caring for my two younger brothers. Before long, Meng Xiao's spirit was thoroughly crushed. When I received my university acceptance letter, she was busy changing diapers for the boys. Upon learning of my academic achievement, she seethed with jealousy and sent me a private message. "You have ruined my life, and I will not let you go unpunished." She uttered such threats more than once, and I had grown desensitized to her venomous words, dismissing them completely. After all, it was not I who was responsible for caring for the family, nor was it I who would be sold off for a bride price. Meng Xiao could only wish for her own fortune. As September arrived, I commenced my university studies. My new roommate scrutinized my visage and exclaimed, "Wow, you resemble an internet celebrity." A sense of foreboding washed over me. "Who?" I inquired. She raised her phone and replied, "Look, a comedic influencer. Her videos are quite amusing." Upon glancing at the screen, I discovered it was none other than Meng Xiao. She had traversed the same path as in her previous life, swiftly amassing followers by ridiculing others. However, this time, her targets were none other than the sons of our parents. In the video, Meng Xiao held up wasabi-filled chocolate, coaxing the children to consume it in a gentle tone. The little ones eagerly snatched the snacks and stuffed them into their mouths. Within moments, tears streamed from their eyes as they cried out in discomfort. Meanwhile, Meng Xiao continued to film, giggling heartily. The caption read, "Sister's bloodline suppression of her brothers." Another roommate glanced at the video and remarked, "The children seem only 2 or 3 years old. Can they really eat such spicy food?" Indeed, I hadn't considered that. However, it's their family matter, and as outsiders, we should refrain from commenting, she replied, diverting the conversation to other topics. I remained fixated on my phone, silently resolving to share the video with my parents. They typically do not engage with short videos and likely remain oblivious to the fact that their precious son had become a plaything for Meng Xiao. Unsurprisingly, my parents were seething with anger and delivered a severe beating to Meng Xiao, ultimately sending her to the hospital. Lying in her hospital bed, Meng Xiao continued to film, raking in online coins while simultaneously portraying herself as a victim. "I must apologize. I have been deceiving everyone. In truth, I am the most overlooked child in my family. My sisters bully me while simultaneously ingratiating themselves with our parents, and my younger brothers treat me with disdain, demanding my servitude while I strive to earn a living, but I am utterly exhausted and I can no longer endure this." Upon the release of the video, my follower count surged dramatically. It turns out that behind the cheerful facade of Xiao lies a life of misery. Yazoo. A slap from a woman who torments her sister is despicable beyond measure. With the younger sister on the brink of despair, where's the compassion from the 2 older sisters? They must be confronted. The fans turned their ire towards me and my eldest sister, even resorting to doxing our names, schools, and contact information. Daily, I find myself besieged at the school gate, where I am verbally assaulted. Wretched spirit, go die alongside your sister. In this dire situation, my friends and classmates have begun to distance themselves. My eldest sister is facing a similar plight. Her part-time job dismissed her out of fear of potential backlash. Tearfully, she called me, "Jingdan, what shall we do?" I reassured her, "Do not worry. Everything will be fine." From the very beginning of my rebirth, I had been preparing to confront Meng Xiao. If she is so bold as to capture the misfortunes of others, then I shall not hold back. I had already purchased a sports camera, discreetly concealed in the pocket of my jacket. I have documented all the instances of Meng Xiao disparaging our sisterhood, wasting food in the cafeteria, and stealing money. The reason for remaining silent is to allow the situation to become increasingly chaotic. The higher one stands, the harder one falls. My intention is to elevate Meng Xiao to the pinnacle, only to let her plummet into the depths of despair, leaving her with no chance of redemption. This is the conclusion I desire. In a fleeting moment, Meng Xiao became a sensation. Her fan base surged at an astonishing rate, accumulating hundreds of thousands daily. And endorsements flooded in incessantly. In her frenzy, Meng Xiao hastily produced several videos, lamenting how inhumanely I and my elder sister had treated her. Her fans, fueled by indignation, clamored for our downfall. Yet I remained unperturbed, proactively reaching out to a marketing account. Would you be interested in striking a deal? With a sudden influx of traffic. The marketing account was ecstatic. They responded promptly, agreeing to create a clarifying video. The professionals adeptly captured the audience's psychology and the rhythm of the narrative twist, seamlessly weaving together the video materials I provided into a coherent storyline. This included, but was not limited to, Meng Xiao insulting me and my sister as wenches and her outbursts in the cafeteria, deriding others as paupers. Once the video was aired, its viewership skyrocketed past 1 million. Many netizens expressed skepticism. No way, Meng Xiao doesn't seem like that kind of person. It must be AI face swapping. Everyone, don't be deceived. However, as evidence gradually emerged, those who staunchly supported Meng Xiao were left embarrassed. I consulted an expert. The video does not feature AI face swapping. It is authentic from beginning to end. I can testify. Meng Xiao and I attended the same high school. She caused such a ruckus in the cafeteria that our entire dormitory went without food. I, too, possess a video of Meng Xiao hurling insults. Has anyone expressed interest in viewing it? Photos have surfaced of Meng Xiao at the police station giving her statement. Allegations have been made against her for seducing a married man and provoking his pregnant wife. Whether these claims are true or false has become inconsequential. What truly matters is that Meng Xiao has irrevocably ruined herself. In her pursuit of fame, she never anticipated the backlash that would ensue, leaving no escape route for herself. When the entire internet erupted in condemnation, panic set in, prompting her to hastily delete her account and withdraw from social media. However, while her account may be deactivated, she cannot erase her existence from this world. She has faced a torrent of vitriol from fans turned adversaries, enduring relentless torment that has rendered her too fearful to step outside. Major advertisers have demanded exorbitant penalties for breach of contract, plunging her into insurmountable debt. My parents swiftly severed ties with Meng Xiao, distancing themselves entirely. Yet, their fate did not fare any better. Their past indiscretions, marked by favoritism towards sons and mutual infidelity, were laid bare for all to see. Colleagues and superiors pointed fingers, and they were summarily dismissed for their missteps. My parents' new partners, fearing repercussions, hastened to dissolve their marriages, casting them aside. Thus, my parents found themselves solitary figures, scraping by through menial jobs. They lost everything: wealth, love, and children. Relegated to a cramped basement where they could barely turn around, each resenting the other. The next time I heard news of Meng Xiao was during my university graduation year. I had secured a fulfilling job and embarked on a graduation trip with my elder sister. As I passed through an unfamiliar small town, I decided to alight and purchase a beverage, only to find myself ensnared by a disheveled woman with a grotesque countenance. Meng Jingdan, do you dare to seek me out again? I will kill you. I was taken aback, recognizing her as Meng Xiao. Over the years, she had evidently endured some trials, transforming into a shadow of her former self, emanating a pungent stench. It's all your fault. Why didn't you take me with you? If you had taken responsibility for me, I would now be an enviable internet sensation, rather than a beggar subjected to scorn. Meng Xiao bellowed at me. Upon hearing this, an unexpected calm washed over my heart. It appeared that she too had been reborn, albeit a step behind. I replied coolly, "You reap what you sow, if you seek destruction. Do not blame others for not restraining you." With that, I grasped the plastic bag and strode away without a glance back. Once I returned to the car, I recounted the incident to my sister. After a long silence, she sighed. I never imagined Meng Xiao would remain unchanged, forever mired in her grievances and devoid of gratitude. I tightened my grip on my sister's hand. Let us not speak of her anymore. Sister, I will drive. You should rest. I will call you when we arrive. My sister smiled at me. All right. From that moment on, no one would impede our pursuit of a joyful life.